And we apologize for those technical difficulties, some spotty Wi-Fi here at Canal Park, but we're back up and live. 1 out down. There was a ground ball to Jake Hanley, and he took care of it. So Michael Belo ahead 1-2 in the count now against Aiden Tania. The pitch fouled back by Tania.
Yep, and Tania had all 3 outs at shortstop in the first inning against the Comets, and also made some plays hitting against Old Tangi Berlin, another senior. Two count.
In the dirt as Belo makes it full. Tania patient at bat so far. Again, for those of you just joining again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. Wi-Fi issue made our stream cut out. As Belo punches him out on the full count. 2 outs now for the Comets.
And those full count pitches are what can really swing a game, and Belo goes to his off-speed there. Tania can't get it. Comets sees back the momentum, already got that run in the top of the second. Brings up Jason Cox, the second baseman, batting .296 this season.
First pitch inside for strike 1. A 1 count. Belo, that pitch a little low, doesn't get the call. Evens it up at 1-1. That pitch just high, so Belo trying to hit the edge of the zone, not getting his calls. 2-2 now. 2-1, excuse me. Fouled back.
Got 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Belo with another fastball there.
That pitch fouled to the left. Stevens a running attempt, but it goes over the net.
And hit into the massive Twinsburg fan section, taking up the entire left side of the stands. Twinsburg not too far away here from Akron. Their community showed up in droves.
Yeah, and Twinsburg just 17 miles away, so almost like a home game for them. The 2-2 pitch, high, and a swing and a miss. Belo walking back with authority to the Comets dugout after 2 strikeouts in the second inning. Comets lead 1-0 headed into the bottom of the second. Top of the third. Comets back at the top of the lineup to start the third inning. Alex Kelling looking to replicate what he did in inning one. Started off the game with a single right down the middle. As Tinter's first pitch for him drops low.
Now Comets, a very different spot than they were on Friday night. They have a lead early. Didn't score until the top of the 7th in that game. Looking to protect their lead now.
Pitch 2 down low.
At the top. Kelling leadoff single. And then out on a fielder's choice in the first.
2-0 pitch. Kelling on the ground. That one, a running effort from the second baseman. Spin move, and what a play from Jason Cox. Almost an exact replica of what Alex Kelling did on Friday night.
Yeah, it's a great play, but like you said, Alex Kelling did the exact same thing Friday night. It kind of made its rounds on social media. That play was big in the 6th inning to get out Matt Hubbard, the Perrysburg star, in there. Kelling, it's a little bit of karma. It's a good hit into the first, second gap.
Hanley up to bat now. Puts a swing on his first pitch down the left field line, and just foul.
Shows off some oppo power. The lefty nearly sent that one to the warning track on the left in left field.
And it didn't even look like Hanley put a big swing on that. Just shows his pure power and bat speed. Down 0-1 now in the count. Comets haven't had trouble catching up to Tinter's fastball. Putting a lot of balls in play tonight. The 0-1 pitch. Just low. Pretty high zone from the ump today. But it's been very consistent in his call so far. And like we mentioned in a lot of our broadcasts, consistency is the key.
Even a high zone would benefit Hanley. 6'6", one of the tallest guys on either team.
That one hit into center field. And a running effort from Jaden Dye as he pulls it in. Very athletic play out in center field. Brings Drew Stevens up to bat with 2 outs.
Good contact there from Hanley, but it definitely went further than most guys at the plate would have sent that into center field. And Dye did a great job backpedaling and tracking down the catch. Setting up Twinsburg now with 2 outs.
First pitch to Stevens. Just makes it in the inside corner for strike 1. 66 miles an hour on the off speed. Tinter really changing up his speed tonight. Doesn't have a blazing fastball, but makes up for it with his off speed. Check swing from Stevens. Did not go. Even at 1-1. Tinter delivers. That one almost identical to his first pitch. Just a little bit too far inside.
The boos coming out of the Twinsburg fans. Wanted a strike there.
2-1 count. That pitch drops low. And the curveball barely fell out of the zone, clocking in around 67 again.
Yep, Tinter's curveball doesn't have much velocity on it, but a lot of movement in there, a little bit too much movement, went out of the zone, and Stevens disciplined to not take the bait.
3-1, Stevens swings, fouled back behind the sweet level. So that'll make it full with 2 outs.
And he had a full count last inning. Belo was able to punch out to Naja. But can Tinter do the same here and close out a quick inning?
And it is loud in this from these Twinsburg fans. Full count pitch to Stevens. That one hit up in the air to center. Right fielder comes over, and Jack Phillips pulls it in for the final out of the top of the third. Comets still ahead, 1-0 here at Canal Park. Twinsburg back up to the plate. It's the freshman Kyler Hoon, and he's been a breakout star for Twinsburg in this playoffs.
Hoon, 2 RBI singles, went 2 for 3 against Olentangy Berlin, got them going in their 2-out rally in the 6th inning. They're really excited about this kid, and for good reason.
First 2 pitches outside. That one escapes the glove of Rutherford. So the freshman ahead 2-0 in the count to start off the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, that pass ball could have been very costly had there been any guys on base. Luckily for Belo and Rutherford, just the first batter of the inning.
2-0 pitch for Belo, just inside. As Hoon likely will get the take sign, but Belo just trying to throw one in the zone here. 3-0 pitch, and he does right down the middle.
Back in hitters count now. Belo back-to-back fastballs.
3-1 pitch, swing and a miss from Hoon. Making things full. Pressure back on for the freshman. Sitting pretty far back in the box. Not used to Belo's heat. He delivers. And a swing and a miss. Belo bounces back from 3-0 to strike out the freshman sensation, Kyler Hoon.
Yeah, really impressive from Belo. So poised. Had a full count. Got the strikeout last inning. And then there, down 3-0. Had a pass ball, but able to stay calm. And the fastball was just too difficult to hit. Able to layer it around the zone. That one a little bit low, and Hoon can't connect.
At the bottom of the lineup now, the center fielder, Jaden Dye. We've seen him make some nice plays on defense. See if he can translate it to some offense now as he watches ball 1 high. Belo delivers again. That pitch right down the middle.
Thought about it, had a check swing there, but doesn't matter. It's in the zone. And Dye hitting .273 this year, 2 home runs, so uncharacteristic power at the back of the lineup.
Puts that one straight up. Belo calling it off. And you could hear that one from all the way up here. Drew Stevens came running over, and the pitcher's going to take the fly out. Doesn't see that. We don't see that very often.
Yeah, and Belo in a pretty unfortunate spot when it comes to the sun. Glare straight in his eyes. No sunglasses from the pitcher, but able to make the catch with a pretty good call, and Stevens backed off in time.
2 down now as we're back at the top of the lineup for Twinsburg. Bobby Lemieux up to the plate. And Lemieux, nice little French last name, kind of remind me of the Joe Burrow jerseys with the Burax. So we were struggling with some of these pronunciations, but then I just thought back to Joe Burrow.
I think you're stretching a little bit, Adam. I didn't struggle with this one at all.
Well, you know, try to throw Joe Burrow or the Bengals in the broadcast whenever we can. We're big football people, so.
Hey, might be the cover of Madden. We'll find out in a couple days.
Yeah, him or Christian McCaffrey. Voice kind of sounded like one of those two. Lemieux down 2 strikes early as Belo looking to close out the 3rd. Delivers the pitch. Low and outside, but blocked down by Rutherford.
Rutherford, good play defensively there. Able to slide a little bit to the right. Blocks that pitch.
Belo taking his time. 1-2 the count. He stretches. Check swing. Safe. Rutherford baffled with that call.
And that curveball just missed the zone. And play discipline from Lemieux, able to hold off his swing just enough to stay alive. Still 2-2. Belo in a good spot, but would have liked to end it there.
Belo delivers. High inside. Can't make it in the zone. Lemieux patient during this at bat, makes it full.
Yeah, tough spot there, and first at bat of this inning, Belo's up 3-0, came back.
3-2. Belo on fire, catches Lemieux looking. And the final out of the 3rd inning. Belo on a strikeout barrage to start off the state finals. Comets ahead 1-0 over the Twinsburg Tigers. Mark Rutherford stepping up to the plate to start the fourth. Comets ahead 1-0. First pitch swung and fouled into the left field patio.
Rutherford, the lefty, with another oppo foul ball. Was out his first appearance to close out the top of the first inning.
That pitch inside, swung, grounded to second, a bobble. Rutherford can't make it in time. And a nice recovery there from Jason Cox.
It looked like it was going to be a routine grounder to the second. Like you said, Cox struggled a little bit with the field, and Rutherford turned on the jets, but not enough. Jason Cox makes the throw.
And Rutherford, you could see it making those legs move, but just couldn't get there in time. Sulik steps into the box now as his first pitch is inside for ball one.
Sulik had a single and scored the lone run of the game so far in the second inning. Also picked up a stolen base.
Tinter delivers a little bit high. No call.
And some deja vu. Sulik was up 2-0 in the second inning as well.
Sulik waiting on his pitch as he watches his first strike. Fastball inside, but up 2-0, not going to swing.
Typically we talk about a team not being used to the high velocity on a fastball. And Tinter in the mid to low 80s, but a lot more control.
Good frame by the catcher, but can't get the call. Another inside pitch there from Tinter. His off-speed 67 there. And yeah, pretty crazy to think about. We saw Jake Canley on Friday throwing his curveball around 81, and that's just about where this fastball is for Tinter.
Yep, Comets having to adjust to the speed of Lucas Tinter. But it's not about how hard you can throw. It's about how well you can control it, and Tinter doing a good job of that so far.
Makes it full. Sulik waiting on the pitch. That one outside, and he'll make his way over to first. Bringing up Crociata with one out.
Adam, imagine we'll see another bunt situation here. Crociata had the sacrifice, was able to advance Sulik to third base last time because Sulik stole second.
And one out. So not guaranteed. Infield playing a little bit in. So we definitely could see Sulik on the move here. He's very jumpy at first. Crociata sits back and watches fastball one.
Slight check swing there. That one in the zone. And Tinter wasn't too worried about Sulik that last pitch, but looks back here.
0-1 for Crociata. Sulik jumping around. He's on the move. Crociata doesn't swing. Called strike. That one hits off Sulik's arm, but he's already on base as his second steal of the game.
Sulik with the slide, but able to make it safe. Another throw from the catcher that gets there, but it heads into the outfield. Sulik might have had a shot at 3, but with one out, Coach Bly holds him. Safe decision. And good awareness there with Crociata. High inside strike call. So it wasn't his pitch. Probably would have popped it up if he swung. So lets the runner advance. 1-1. That one in the dirt. Crociata now ahead in this count. And a man in scoring position once again. 2-1 pitch. Crociata hits that one to second. Bobbled again by Cox. Crociata. Oh, he thought he had it. About a half step too late. Does the job, moves Sulik over to third, but 2 outs on the board as J.J. Darce will come up for the second time tonight. If and Crociata sure would have liked to get there. Might have been an error as once again Jason Cox at second base bobbled the hit a little bit, but nonetheless gets Sulik to third base. That's what he was trying to accomplish. Darce swings on his first pitch. Backhand by the shortstop. And an unbelievable play
by Aiden Teneda. As Twinsburg holds the Comets scoreless in the fourth. Aiden Teneda, the big play to end the inning. Twinsburg up to bat next. Jack Phillips starting things off in the bottom of the fourth for Twinsburg. Number 2 hitter for this Tiger team. Belo staying strong on the mound, delivers his first pitch. It's a changeup.
Good off speed there. Phillips not able to adjust in time. Already over 1 on the day, batting .256 this season.
Belo delivers, but a swing and a miss. That time speeds up his velocity. Fastball high in the zone. 0-2 down. Belo, the stretch. That one low.
Belo ahead, 0-2 there. Can afford to try to get a little bit out of the zone, see if Phillips will chase.
Still ahead, 1-2. The frame by Rutherford, pitch just outside. Rutherford tried his best to sell it. Two now. That one in the same spot. Phillips stays patient and makes it full.
Belo had a full count twice in the third inning, was able to get strikeouts both of those times, looking to make it 3 for 3.
Belo delivers in the dirt as Phillips makes his way to first with no outs.
His first walk allowed of the game. And bringing up the heart of this Tiger lineup, Josh Stalemaker, the Ashland commit, had a single in the first inning. Was stranded at first, but now no outs. Has a man to move.
Stalemaker, 16 doubles on the year, hitting .374. Big lead at first from Phillips. Belo checks back the throw over. Not in time. Even bigger lead now from Phillips at first. Pitch outside.
Phillips likes not to move to second, but it's safe to say it was in the back of Belo's mind. There's that pitch way out of the zone.
1-0 for Belo. Phillips jumping around. Throws back. Not in time again.
Hanley hasn't been able to get a tag down on Phillips just yet, but trying to keep him honest, although Phillips' leadoff keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Still 1-0. Pitch to Stallnaker. That one falls in the zone. Belo pins the outside corner.
That fastball in the mid-80s there, but great command, painting the corners.
Phillips ready to go, but another throwback. Haven't seen a tag from Hanley like you mentioned, Andrew. A little surprised, but at least haven't seen him try to sell it a little bit. Back over yet again.
And I think we would have seen it there, but the throw was a little bit off. Hanley had to step off the bag.
A roar of boos from Twinsburg as we'll call it the home crowd getting loud. Belo steps, fouled down left field. 1-2 the count now. Belo still has that runner at first to worry about.
Stallnaker a little bit late, swinging at that fastball, and once again pushes it opposite field. A deep foul into the left field pavilion.
Belo throws back again, and Twinsburg fans not happy. But I don't blame Belo. I mean, Phillips is almost two like full Jake Hanley bodies length away, and Jake Hanley, that's a far lead. He goes again. The tag just misses.
Phillips at this point trying to play with Belo with about a 12-foot jump.
Shorter leadoff now. Belo, the 1-2 count. Delivers to Stallnaker. Check swing. He did not go. And a strike not called. The pitch looked like a strike to me no matter what.
Yeah, towards the top outside of the zone, but I agree from our vantage point. Looks like a strike, but Belo will have to shake that one off. Still tied 2-2. So in a good spot, but once again, Phillips the big lead at first.
Belo back again. And still a roar of boos from Twinsburg. Belo not phased at all. It's definitely the longest at bat so far tonight, or this afternoon.
Yeah, really making Belo work for these 2 outs.
2-2 from Belo. Delivers. Hit into left field. Crociata falls underneath it. And Phillips will make his way back to first. Good read from the left fielder as the defense flashes 2 fingers for 2 outs.
Yep, and we're probably going to see a repeat of the dancing battle with Phillips and Belo.
Works.
So now Kimmel comes up. Comets have 2 outs to go. Belo already throws back to Phillips before he's thrown a pitch to Kimmel.
Phillips taking another step in his leadoff. On the move, fouled back by Kimmel.
And the one time Phillips does jump, ends up being a foul anyways. And if that ball had been hit into the outfield, Phillips might have been in trouble if the Comets were able to come down with a pop-up. And that's why it's so difficult in these runner situations.
Belo back to first again, just late on the tag from Hanley.
And that's the closest he's been to getting Phillips at first.
Still 0-1. Back again. Doesn't get the call at first.
And that, I know we just said it was our closest, but Very close tag there.
Full body dive back to the bag from Phillips. Belo pitches that one. And that one misses the zone. We could see Rutherford try for a throwdown. 1-1 count. Still just one out. Belo delivers. Ball hit into shallow right field. Donor falls under it. As now 2 outs on the board, and Belo only has one more potential batter to deal with.
Conway popped out to Hanley to open off the second inning. The catcher now back up to the plate. He's hitting .242 this season.
Definitely got to be worried about Phillips trying to move on to second to get into scoring position, especially with 2 outs. Belo throws back. Runner safe.
Phillips once again dives to get safely on the bag.
And great poise by Belo, not letting these Twinsburg fans get in his head. He's not going to let Phillips get more than a 10-foot lead off the bag. Belo back again. Hanley drops the ball.
Definitely our longest half inning so far.
Again, still just 2 outs now. Phillips on the move, but that one in midair again. Miscommunication, but Belo calls it off again. And typically, kind of the unwritten rule is you never let your pitcher catch a fly out. But Belo taking command. That's his second one today as Sulik bumps into him. Belo escapes the inning. Comets still ahead 1-0 headed into the top of the 5th. Well, other than that bottom of the 4th, it's been a very fast game here at Canal Park. Already in the top of the 5th. Comets in command, up 1-0 over the Twinsburg Tigers. Still a lot of ball game left to be played, but Comets back on offense. Casey Donor to lead things off here in the inning. First pitch, he swings on. Diving effort from the first baseman, but the ball goes foul. That one, it's a little blooper.
And that pitch just came in at 64 miles an hour. Donor's eyes got big, swinging at that. So far with the lone RBI of the day.
Oh, 1 count. Swing and a miss that time. Tinter mixing up the speed. Goes back with a fastball there.
Fastball came in a little bit low there. Donor went just over the top of the pitch.
Donor down 0-2. That pitch outside. Drop third strike, though. Actually, they're going to say he didn't go. Donor made his way to first, heads-up play.
Yep, and a check swing, and the umpire looked to Donor. It looked like he signaled as a drop third, but was motioning to the first base umpire to see if he went.
Yeah, so he pointed down to first. Donor took that as he needed to run down the first. 1-2 now for Donor. Tinter in his head, delivers. Swing and a miss that time.
That the third strikeout of the day for Tinter. Brings up Hart, who struck out looking to close out the second inning.
Hart hits that one past the second baseman. Very hard hit ball, took one bounce and couldn't pull in the backhand. I believe that one's going to go down as a base hit, though. So Hart hitting 180 on the year, but gets on base with the single. And
Hart.
1 out will bring the top of the order back up to the plate. The Ohio State commit, Alex Kelling.
Kelling led off with a single and then had a similar hit to what Hart just had, but Cox was able to make the play at second, so 1 for 2 right now.
Throw back to first. And the Comet fans will kind of joke and boo at Tinter now. A little touche. And some Comet students making the long trek from Cincinnati, about a 3.5 hour drive. Another throw over, safe, and even louder boos. You got some football players, some soccer players, a lot of Mason parents and families.
Yep, and Hart, 9 stolen bases on the year, so it makes sense why Tinter's worried, but hasn't even thrown a pitch to Kelling yet.
Kelling swinging on his first pitch. Hit down the left field line, but foul.
About 5 to 10 feet foul there on that pole to left field. Would have likely sent Hart to third.
Oh, 1 count for Kelling. Hart, big lead at first, throw back, and he's safe.
Would have been a good tag from Kimmel, but Hart able to get underneath.
And Hart not even coming near to the lead that Jack Phillips was getting on Belo earlier.
About half the distance.
That ball outside.
1-1 for Kelling, but doesn't really seem to be the main priority for Tinter.
One pitch. Kelling hits that one oppo into left field. Hart will stay at second. Kelling makes it to first. And 2 runners on. Bringing up the big bat, Jake Hanley.
And Kelling with his 3rd hit of the state Final Four so far. That one dropped over the third baseman's head. A great hit. Yeah, this is the guy you want up. Lefty Jake Hanley going against the right-handed pitcher. Had a fielder's choice, got to first base in the first inning, popped up to center field deep near the warning track in the 3rd, but obviously had that big RBI double in the 7th inning on Friday, the clutch hit. And he's got a man in scoring position, just 1 out.
And the catcher Conway will head to the mound for a quick visit, trying to get a game plan for facing Hanley. As Tinter, his first pitch, a swing and a miss. And that 64-mile-an-hour curveball catches Hanley off guard.
Yeah, and
way early.
Throwing a curveball to a guy like Hanley is definitely a risk. He can rip that one out of the park, but Hanley, who throws an 81-mile-an-hour curveball, a little ahead of that 65-mile-an-hour curveball.
Fastball fouled back. Tinter ahead of Hanley 0-2 now. We'll see if he elects to go back to that curveball or not. (0-2) for Hanley. Hanley barely gets a piece of it to stay alive.
Just scrapes that one off the dirt almost.
Another off speed from Tinter. The 0-2 pitch. That one hit in the gap. Hart stays at third, and Hanley makes his way on base for a single. And right before that 0-2 pitch, I heard a Twinsburg fan kind of barking at him saying, "You're 0 for 2 today, you're a fraud." And next pitch, Jake Hanley hits a single. And very similar thing happened on Friday,
yeah,
right
if you
before.
go back and listen, there were some, I think, playful overrateds. I saw somewhere on Twitter, it might have been one of his club teammates throwing a jab at him, but somebody was chanting overrated before Jake Hanley's RBI double on Friday.
And
safe to say he's not the guy you want to bark at.
No. And he just uses that as fuel. Drew Stevens up to the plate now with the bases loaded, 1 out. Dangerous opportunity for the Comets to add some insurance to their lead here in the state finals.
Last time at the plate, Drew Stevens popped out to right field. That'd be a pretty acceptable outcome here. Would likely bring Brad Hart home, potentially move another runner to third.
1-0 for Stevens. And his second pitch just high as he is ahead in the count. He'll wait for his pitch.
And loaded bases with 1 out. Scary position to be in for both teams. This is a prime double play opportunity for the defense, but also prime RBI watch for Stevens.
Stevens hits that one into right center for a single. He makes on his way to second. Kelling comes home. Hanley to third. 2 runs score for the Comets. And Drew Stevens is hyped up there on second base. Calls time.
And that's what you need. The Ashland commit. We have another Ashland commit at first base. Whisks right by him. Legs out the double in 2 RBIs. Comets now with a nice cushion here in the 5th inning. And Twinsburg can have a meeting at the mound.
Yeah, and that was, when you have Stevens down 2-0, he's going to wait on his perfect pitch, and Tinter gave that to him. Stevens slices that one opposite field. Some great opposite field hitting tonight so far by the Comets.
Definitely. Stevens not afraid to rip that one up in the count and brings up Rutherford, the lefty. And with Tinter still on the mound, you've got a lefty-righty matchup you've got to feel good about with 2 guys in scoring position and just 1 out.
Yeah, and Rutherford's the guy you want to bring up to the plate for this exact situation. He could put a ball in the air for a sac fly. Also, 12 doubles on the year, all in very clutch moments. But even a single would potentially bring 2 runners in. 1 out. As Rutherford steps into the box, Tinter comes set. He pitches it. Rutherford hits that to right field for a single. Hanley makes his way home. And Stevens will stay at third. 4 runs now the Comet lead here in the top of the 5th inning, and they are not done yet. Coach Bly will come meet with the umpire, and they will be a pinch runner. Tyler Dalton checking in for Rutherford to run the bases.
Yep, and that is exactly why these lefty-right-handed matchups matter. That pitch placed in a way that Rutherford, the lefty, able to pull it into right field. And right fielder playing pretty deep, not able to get there, brings in another run. Comets bats are hot.
And we'll see how much longer Coach Jim Lipinski keeps Lucas Tinter in. This could be his last inning in the finals. Sulik shows bunt. Tyler Dalton on the move, and he makes it safely to second as Sulik pulls back for ball one. Now 2 runners in scoring position for the Comets.
Yeah, that's why you put a guy like Dalton in, able to pick up that stolen base. His third of the season.
Sulik bunt again, but pulls back. Discipline play.
Good timing on the pull. That throw way out of the zone. And Sulik takes an easy ball.
We'll still see if he still will elect to bunt up 2-0. And he does not. Swing and a miss on that changeup.
The changeup, it's been working pretty well today. 67 miles an hour, 64 we saw as low as it's been. It's hard to hit something coming in relatively that slow with so much movement.
2-1, that pitch in the dirt. 3-1 for Sulik.
Can't afford to load the bases. Coming up for Hutch Crociata.
Crociata has had a lot of big RBIs in these playoffs. 3-1 to Sulik. Cuts and fouls that one back, making it full.
That fastball came in on the outside, or excuse me, that off speed came in outside of the zone. Sulik stretched out for the hit, but knocks it backwards, frustrated with himself. Would have been a tough call for the umpire, but could have been ball four there, right on the edge of the zone.
Full count for Sulik. Comets looking to keep this one-out rally alive. Full count pitch. And Sulik caught looking, as that will bring Crociata up with 2 outs now. Still 2 runners in scoring position. And we'll see if the junior Crociata can keep things going.
It definitely changes the strategy now with 2 outs, nobody on first. Crociata's signature is laying down those bunts and using his speed to get to first base. Not on the table anymore.
First pitch. Sneaks in the outside corner for strike one. Crociata 8 RBIs this year. Oh, 1. Crociata chops that one to short. The throw over. And Crociata is retired. Aiden Taneja with another play to end the inning. He's been a bright spot in this Twinsburg defense. But 3 runs scored in this 5th inning by your Mason Comets as they hold the 4-run lead over the Twinsburg Tigers in the OHSAA state finals. Coming up next, Twinsburg looking to bounce back in the bottom of the 5th. Aiden Taneja stepping up to the plate for Twinsburg. Just made the play to end top of the 5th.
Taneja had a hard-fought full count battle with Belo in the 2nd inning, but ended with a strikeout swinging. Looking to get things going.
First pitch, a ball from Belo. So he'll deliver pitch number 2 just outside. Belo picking up the pace a little bit, trying to catch this Twinsburg team off guard.
Been a lot of strikes so far from Belo.
And delivers 1 there, making the count 2-1. Taneja lines that one into right field for a single. Donor comes up with it and hits his cutoff man Kelling, but not in time for Taneja to get to first.
A great oppo hit there into right field. Really difficult spot for Donor to field. And that's just the 2nd hit allowed of the game by Belo. It's another single Comets. 3 hits allowed in the last 3 games.
Jason Cox, the lefty, now stepping up to the plate for Twinsburg. As there'll be a time on the field. Twinsburg sending pitcher into the bullpen. The bullpen located out in deep right center field, so a long run. Looks like it's might be Carter Klomanek. Not exactly sure. So runner on first for Twinsburg, no outs. Belo's first pitch to Cox, a swing and a miss.
Belo now working in the same spot he was last inning with a man on first to open things up and getting ahead with the off speed there. And throws back to first base, a familiar sight. Not as many boo birds from the Twinsburg stands this time.
Cox laid on that fastball from Belo as he fouls it down the left field line. (0-2) count for Belo. That ball hit down the left field line again. Stevens making a running effort but goes out of play.
And a Twinsburg fan who brought their glove tried to catch that one. That foul ball took the glove right off their hand and went to some excited young Twinsburg fans.
0-2 still the count. Taneja on first. Belo, the changeup. A check swing foul as Cox stays alive.
0-2. Belo continuing with his off speed.
(0-2) pitch. Swing and a miss from Jason Cox. Belo, another strikeout tonight.
Strikeout number 6 through 5 innings. It's been a great day. And Cox struck out both at bats now and bringing up Kyler Hoon. We talked about his heroics in the state semifinals, 2 RBI singles, but struck out swinging in the 3rd inning to lead things off.
He was the spark on Friday, now looking to catch a flame in the bottom of the 5th. Taneja, big lead at first. Hoon fouls his first pitch back.
And the only freshman on the roster for either of these two teams. A high-pressure situation for him in the state final. But getting some great experience. Like we said earlier, 12 seniors on this Twinsburg roster. Hoon is going to be counted on a lot in the next 3 years.
Belo delivers on the 0-1. Rutherford throw back to first. Taneja makes it back safely.
Heads up play from Rutherford to get it back to first, but Hanley wasn't quite ready, not able to get a tag down.
One, Belo drops that one in for strike number 2.
Slider comes in inside. Great pitch there. Now 1-2. Really putting the pressure on the freshman.
Belo checks back on Taneja at first. One-two. That one out of the glove of Rutherford. Taneja slips. Rutherford took his time getting to the ball. Coach Bly going to be frustrated with the lack of hustle there from Rutherford.
Rutherford motions back to the dugout. That's on me, and would have been a close call at second. Not going to act like it was a gimme for him to get back, but rarely do you see a guy trip halfway on his way to second base. Certainly would have been an interesting play at the bag.
Runner in scoring position now with 1 out. 2-2 the pitch from Belo. As he spins back and checks on Tania at second. And we saw a very similar situation in the last game, Baden. And their pitcher did that, but was called for a balk, and that moved the runner over to third.
Yep. And it ended up being one of the crucial runs. And that was a great game in the D2 state finals.
Yeah, Baden 2-0 lead through 6, and then top of the 7th.
And West Branch was able to come home with
their
first state title.
And full count now. Belo delivers. That one hit into right field. Donor falls underneath it. Taneja will stay at second.
Third base coach pondering if that was the right move there. Would have been a close play as Donor made a good throw from right field to the cutoff man.
Yeah, and I think that was the smart decision. Kelling had the ball by the time Taneja would have been halfway to third. That'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Jaden Dye, with 2 outs. 26 RBIs on the year, and again, unusual power, like you mentioned the first time in his at-bat, at the end of this Twinsburg lineup. Belo delivers as Dye watches strike 1.
Typically not going to have a power hitter as your 9th batter, but Dye, a lot of speed as well, 26 stolen bases this year. It's a good spot for him. Popped out to Belo in the 3rd inning.
Belo, throw back to second. Sulik, a running effort to get that ball. Risky throw.
Yeah, Belo had a lot of juice on that throw, and you need to if you're trying to get a guy out, but Sulik wasn't quite ready for it. That could have been an extra base.
Oh, 0-1 delivery is low.
Belo misses outside with the fastball.
Check swing, doesn't matter. Pitch is right down the middle.
Belo once again ahead in the count, goes back to that fastball. Chance to get out of the inning.
1-2 count. Belo looking to take care of Dye. He delivers that pitch outside. Dye thought about it.
Rutherford tried to frame that inside, but not enough as it was too far out. So Dye now with the 2-2-2 count. 2 outs.
And Dye will call time, steps out of the box.
And both fan bases trying to get the energy going. Man in scoring position, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Rutherford will head to the pitcher's mound to meet with Belo. Dye steps back into the batter's box.
The pitch from Belo, hit into center field. Hart, the running effort, and he pulls it in. The final out of the 5th inning. Brad Hart makes a nice play from center field. Belo leaves 1 runner on and holds the Tigers scoreless in the 5th inning. 2 innings left to go here at Canal Park in the Division I state finals. Comets hold the 4-0 lead. Can they hold on? J.J. Darst starting things off in the top of the 6th. Comets in their black uniforms, and they already have a regional trophy in their trophy case. But Andrew, I think Comets deserve another trophy for best uniforms in Ohio. I mean, every single one is slick.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier. I think my personal favorite is the Kelly Greens, but can't go wrong.
See, I also love their gray ones. It's kind of a tie for me between their black and gray. I think they repped the gray on Friday. As Darst watches strike 2. Coach Bly not only going to have his team help propel his team to success, but help propel them to success in style. Darst watches that fastball outside, and a pitching change for Twinsburg. It is Owen Shinada coming into relief for Tinter.
Yeah, and Shinada, a junior, committed to Indiana baseball. That's right. Future teammate of Jake Hanley.
As his next pitch almost hits Darst. Was about an inch away from Darst's elbow guard.
And Shinada with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. That would have hurt.
Yeah. And definitely a speed difference from these last two pitchers. Tinter's fastball clocking in around 82, 83. Shinada at 90. That one in the same spot, and it hit him as Darst walks down to first.
And Comets' last inning had a 3-run rally. Darst was the only guy that didn't get up to the plate, and now setting things up well on first base.
Coach Bly's going to put a pinch runner in for Darst. And it'll be Drew Johnson. Johnson started off Friday's game in this 7-hole position, but was subbed out for Darst.
Some nice symmetry there as Darst checking out for Johnson, who checked in for him a couple days ago. And yeah, Adam Shinada, PBR Ohio has him as the number 7 prospect in the class of 25 from the state. A lot of potential with him on the mound.
Donor shows bunt on his first pitch, but it's in the dirt. But we're having some trouble accessing Twinsburg stats. Heading into this game, we thought that Shinada was going to be starting on the mound, but it was Tinter that ended up getting the call.
Yeah, Tinter's been the guy in the playoffs for them, but Shinada definitely has a high ceiling in the bullpen.
One count for Donor. Throw back to first, and Johnson makes it back safely. So he gets his jersey a little bit dirty.
And this team's ace has really been the guy headed to Ashland next year, Josh Stalnaker.
As Donor puts down a beautiful bunt, gets past the pitcher, and second baseman went to cover second base, so nobody was there. First baseman Chris Kimmel had to come over and field it, and that left a wide open lane for Donor to get an infield single off the bunt.
Yep, and that's a mental error. Don't know if it's going to go down as an error on the stat sheet, but certainly one Shinada would like to have back. Donor reaches first base for the second time today. Had a single, RBI single in the second inning to give the Comets their lead.
No outs for Hart. We'll see if he shows bunt. Third base playing very deep. And Shinada will step off the mound. Big gap between short and third as the Tigers hoping for a double play.
Hart singled and was scored last at bat.
Hart drops a bunt down. And an error. The throw goes wild from the pitcher, Shinada. As a runner will come in, it's Johnson. Donor makes his way to third. Hart will stay at first. And that time, I was about to say no mental error because second baseman Jason Cox came over to cover, but the throw goes wild as Comets add another insurance run to their total, and they take the 5-0 lead with no outs.
Yep, not what you want if you're Shinada and the Twinsburg Tigers. The Comets continue to rack up runs, but great hitting and base running.
And this is the worst part of the lineup to bring up if you're Twinsburg. Comets back at the top with Alex Kelling, Jake Hanley, Drew Stevens, all with no outs. Kelling, a hard hit ball deep into center. Dye, a jumping effort, he pulls it in. Donor will tag up at third. So one run comes in. Deep ball from Kelling pays off, and Hanley will step into the batter's box with one out.
And a great play in center field from Dye. Limits the damage a little bit. That could have been a disaster. If that had gone over his head, would have probably brought Hart home. But things just get bad to worse. You have Jake Hanley up to the plate now.
Pitch inside, drilled into right field by Hanley. And it hits off the wall. I believe they're going to call a ground rule double. And they do. First pitch, high and inside. That's Jake Hanley's pitch, and he launches it.
Shinada very thankful that that's the only time he's going to have to pitch against Jake Hanley in a game for the rest of his career. As those two likely going to be teammates in Bloomington in a few years, and Jake Hanley just rips it into the similar spot he did on Friday night in a right field. That's his signature shot, and kind of feels weird to say, but that might have been best case scenario. Going with the ground rule double, it keeps Hart at third base, and at least gives Shinada a chance to get out of this with one less run.
And Jake Hanley is going to have a fun story to tell his Indiana teammates. His first ever pitch against Shinada took him to the wall. Drew Stevens now up, and he watches strike one down the middle. Shinada comes set and delivers. Swing and a miss from Stevens.
Shinada showing off his curveball there. Gets Stevens to chase, slow and outside the zone. And a strikeout would be huge here. But Stevens really just needs to get anything into play to bring home another run.
Check swing on the outside. And Stevens knew he went as he'll walk back to the dugout. 2 outs now. Bringing up Mark Rutherford, 2 runners in scoring position.
Rutherford.
10 hits for the Comets so far tonight.
Rutherford ripped an RBI single into right field last time at the plate in the 5th.
First pitch just outside. Good vision from Rutherford.
Up high and outside on the ball.
One-0 count for the senior. Shinada delivers that one in the dirt.
So last at bat, Stevens just needed to get it in the air. This time, Rutherford, if he wants to move another runner, has to get on base himself. Tough spot to be in, 2-0.
The pitch. Pulled into right field and makes it past the first baseman. Hart comes home. Hanley comes home. 2 runs score for Mason.
And the Comets are rolling deep into the state final game. As they've packed on 7 runs just in these last 2 innings. 2 outs.
An 8-run lead for the Comets, and this is going to be hard for Twinsburg to climb back from. Quick meeting at the mound from the Twinsburg infield.
And just two more innings for Twinsburg if they want to fight back. It will be the top of the lineup in the bottom of the 6th, so that's something they can look forward to, but you're going to need something from everybody if they want a chance to come back and win this game.
First pitch to Sulik. Grazes the inside corner for strike 1. Off-speed pitch. Next one in the dirt from Shinada.
Sulik 1 for 2 today. Scored in the 2nd inning.
Hard swing from Sulik, but can't get a piece of it.
Was trying to get ahead of a fastball from Shinada. That one ends up being off speed, but probably would have been a shot into the outfield if he had made contact.
Sulik down 1-2 with 2 outs. But all the momentum in the Comets' favor. This ginormous Twinsburg section left silent after these past 2 innings. Again, Twinsburg just 17 miles here from Canal Park. Almost like a home game for them, just a 20-minute drive. Sulik, 1-2, pitch just high.
Shinada and Twinsburg hoping to get out of the inning with that one, but just a little over the zone. Sulik stays alive.
2-2 now. And Sulik punched out. looking for the second straight time. But a roar from the Mason fans. 4 runs in this 6th inning, extending the Comet lead to 8. Headed into the bottom of the 6th. Twinsburg, they've got a lot of work to do if they want to take home their first Division I state championship in program history. Comets looking to do the same thing next. An inning and a half to go here on Mason Sports Radio. Back for the bottom of the 6th. Michael Belo still on the mound. He's allowed 2 hits so far tonight. Looking to keep up his dominant performance as that first pitch grounded to Sulik, and it's routine as he retires Lemieux.
And Twinsburg needed something from their leadoff hitter. They're going to get their run going, but Sulik makes sure Comets get out one with a routine play. Great move from the shortstop, who's excelled defensively all playoffs long. Now Phillips. Belo walked him last time and had a nice little battle on the bases, threw back to first base more times than I could count. So Belo definitely looking to get a strikeout here, or at least get him out and avoid a repeat.
Pitch 1 low for Phillips.
And 3-0. This is where we were last time with Phillips. So
that one almost hits him, so Phillips will make it on base, and this will be a fun battle again.
Phillips definitely will be looking for extra bases, try to get in scoring position for his team. And this is the guy you want up to the plate if you're a Twinsburg fan. Josh Stalemaker, the Ashland commit. We talked about him through a complete game on Friday and added some hits at the plate as well. He's 1 for 2 today, had a single in the first inning, but was stranded there and hasn't made it back on base since.
Rutherford looked to throw back to first. Belo threw a pitch out, but dropped it. A couple times we've seen that happen from Rutherford tonight. Couldn't get a good squeeze on it.
Yep, he was ready to pick a guy off. Had a great pop time, but couldn't hold on. Phillips elects to stay at first.
1-0 for Stalnaker. His second pitch low, as Rutherford will walk back to the mound.
6 consecutive balls thrown by Belo, so a good time to meet with him, get his composure down. Comets, no need to hurry in their pace.
Yeah, and you'd have to assume Coach Bly's looking for Belo to go the distance. Pitch count pretty low for 6 innings.
Yep, and a shutout for Belo in the state final of his last game as a Comet would certainly be nice.
Don't forget about Phillips at first. Next pitch drills the outside corner for his first strike of the inning.
Finds the zone. That's what he needed. But still hitters count. Another pitch inside. Belo's fastball starting to fade a bit into the mid-80s. And gets back-to-back walks.
Very uncharacteristic of Belo, as Coach Bly will call time and head to the mound to meet with his pitcher.
And don't think that Coach Bly is going to panic and pull Belo here, but there is a guy warming up in the bullpen, trying to see who it is back there.
And I think one of them's Ben Hanley, I believe. And it looks like Coach Bly is going to make the call to the bullpen, as Belo daps up and gives a hug to every single one of his infielders, and everyone in the Mason stands is standing up, and they will give Michael Belo a standing ovation as he trots off for the final time in a Comet uniform. And he cannot be mad whatsoever about his performance. 5.1 innings, only 2 hits allowed, and just a dominant playoff stretch from the George Mason commit. And that will bring senior Bryce Brannon to the mound. Brannon, a Duke commit. We haven't seen him much this playoffs.
Yeah, and Belo certainly deserves a standing ovation for what he's done for this program over the past 3 years now in the lineup. Headed to George Mason next year, and he's had a terrific playoffs for a career ERA 1.083. That's incredible for Michael Belo, and we'll see if it stands. But so far, just 1 earned run this playoffs. That was the St. X earlier, and now Brannon, like you said, up to the mound. Another senior, another guy headed to play Division I baseball. And Brannon, when he's on, he's one of the best pitchers in Southwest Ohio, but Comets have opted to go with Hanley and Belo for most of the playoffs. Brannon has a chance to showcase his skills now against a hungry Twinsburg team late into the game. This season, Brannon 5-1. He's pitched 29 in the 3rd innings, 47 strikeouts. He has 1 shutout. ERA is under 3. 1.3 walks or hits allowed per inning pitch. So it's been a pretty solid senior season for Brannon, but this is definitely his biggest test yet in the state finals.
Brannon looking to cement his senior legacy, the Duke commit, on the mound for the Comets. 1 out, 2 runners on, as Chris Kimmel will step into the box, looking to cause some damage for Twinsburg. First pitch, pinned on the outside corner for strike 1. That'll be a big confidence booster for Brannon. Always nice to have that first pitch a strike.
Absolutely. And with 2 guys on base, a strikeout would be massive. That ball moves away outside of the plate.
One count for Brannon. He delivers to Kimmel. Next pitch low. And keep an eye at Phillips on second. Big lead. Brannon peeks over. Steps. And that one outside.
Now hitters count for Kimmel, who's batting .365 this year, 18 doubles, 58 RBIs. He's had a heck of a season. He's got a man in scoring position. And what a way to end his year. His would be with an RBI.
3-1 from Brannon. That one in the dirt. And Kimmel will walk down to first as the bases load with 1 out. Comets looking to avoid disaster.
They've walked 3 straight guys. This is not where you want to be. Now is prime double play territory for this defense. A defense full of, or an infield full of seniors, a lot of experience.
Corners the infield, playing deep. And Kellen and Sulik in double play position. A passed ball. Rutherford gets a hold of it. And 1 run will come in for Twinsburg. That ball bounced a couple feet in front of the plate.
Yep, and everybody moves. And so Twinsburg finally on the board here in the 6th inning. And looking to rally.
Conway, 1-0 now. Brannon recovers with a fastball down the middle for strike 1.
Yeah, filthy pitch there. Conway can't hang on to it. Gets the swing and the miss.
1-1 for Conway. Runners on second and third. That pitch outside. Two-one to Conway. Swing and a miss. Brannon looking to retire his first batter.
Conway. 2-2 here.
The pitch from Brannon. Swing and a miss! And Brannon fired up after that one. 2 outs on the board. Doesn't have to worry about those runners anymore. He's dialed in. And Aiden Taneja will step up, and he's had a nice game so far for Twinsburg. Probably been their MVP, both offensively and defensively.
Yep, got one of just 2 hits today. But Bryce Brannon just got to strike out. Has
First pitch to Taneja. Hits the plate.
And a free base at first, so now a walk wouldn't be the end of the world, but Brannon has to be careful pitching to Taneja. Needs to get out of this inning.
Pitch 2 just high for ball 2.
Taneja made his way to second base in the 5th.
And Brannon doesn't get the call. Mason fans frustrated there. I think they're going to say it was a little bit high, but. So 3-0 now for Taneja. Taneja shows a bunt but can't fool Brannon.
Taneja pulled away really early off that bunt, and Brannon basically just had a free space to drop in a strike, which he was able to do.
3-1 pitch, right down the middle. Good recovery as Brannon makes it full.
Yeah, Brannon finding command of that fastball. Full count now with 2 outs, chance to get out of the jam.
Full count pitch. Just low and doesn't get the call. As the bases will load. Again here in the bottom of the 6th. 2 outs. Jason Cox will step up to the plate for Twinsburg. All Brandon needs is 1 out, force out at every base.
Cox, the junior, has struck out swinging both appearances today and has a chance to redeem those 2 at-bats with 2 guys in scoring position.
Swing and a miss on the first pitch. They're having trouble catching up to Brandon's fastball. And Twinsburg hasn't even gotten a piece of one of Brandon's pitches today.
Yeah, his fastball's been great. Had a little bit more trouble commanding that off speed.
Check swing, but he went. Down 0-2, Jason Cox.
And once again, Brandon goes with the fastball. That one slightly out of the zone, but gets Cox to chase outside. This is where you need to be 0-2. Brandon can relax a little bit and get the punch out.
Just passing the 2-hour mark in this afternoon's game. The 0-2 pitch to Cox. Doesn't get the call.
And the Comets fans thought that was strike 3.
That pitch just a little bit low of the zone. Again, kind of a high zone from the ump today. Next pitch, right down the middle, a swing and a miss. Bryce Brandon bounces back. 1 runner comes in for Twinsburg, but still 7 runs of insurance headed into the 7th and final inning of play here at Canal Park in the OHSAA Baseball State Finals. Comets looking to take home their first title in program history. 1 inning to go. Make sure you stay tuned for the final action here on Mason Sports Radio. Another pitching change for Twinsburg. Entering the top of the 7th, it'll be Ryan Holder to try and save things for Twinsburg. So he's looking to punch 3 Comet batters out so his team can try to get some offense going. Still, a 7-run deficit for the Tigers Potentially only one inning left to solve it. Hutch Crociata, the batter, to start things off for the Comets.
The Comet bats are on absolute fire the last 2 innings. They picked up 7 runs. And Hodar, the guy Twinsburg needs to stop the bleeding.
1-0 count for Crociata. Hodar delivers. His second pitch high.
Crociata, 2 sacrifice hits today, but has not made it to first base yet.
Check swing from Crociata. And strike called. Two-one for the junior. Hodar pitches. Just misses outside.
And now Crociata 3-1 in a good spot hitters count.
Strike called in the same spot.
Yep, just finds the low outside corner of the zone. He's been going to his fastball, has touched as high as 91, but sitting in between 87 and 90 right now.
Full count now. Crociata looking to put this ball in play. Full count pitch. Crociata fouls it back.
Good contact off the barrel, but not timed well enough, so staying alive after that foul. Oppo hit into the left foul line.
Full pound again. Crociata up the middle. Fielded by the shortstop. And Crociata doesn't beat the throw just in time. Aiden Taneja makes another good play.
That's the second time the Crociatas hit one to the shortstop and thought he was going to be able to beat out the throw. And that time, that hit looked like it was going to get past Taneja, but really nice poise to get back to the ball. And ends up making the throw, gets the out.
One down for the Comets. J.J. Darst now in the box as he will watch strike one down the middle.
Been Darst 0 for 2 today, but was hit by a pitch, and Drew Johnson, who subbed into pinch run, made it all the way around the bases last at bat. Looking to battle back like he did in the 6th inning when he was able to get up to a full count. It's now 1-1.
1-1 delivery. That one fouled into the Comet dugout. One-handed catch by Brad Hart. It's still got a round of applause.
Impressive catch there as he showing off his reflexes. Pushes out his left hand, grabs the ball.
And that foul came off the inside of Darst's bat. Not great contact.
Yeah, that pitch was a little inside.
Fouled back again from Darst.
That's one Darst would like back. Curveball into the zone. Just got a little ahead of it and popped it foul into right field.
1-2 for the junior. The pitch. Fouled. We're hit down the first baseline. It'll stay fair. Takes an unfriendly bounce for Darst. Started off foul and bounced back in. And an easy field from Chris Kimmel as he retires the second Comet batter.
Donor now up to the plate, 2 for 3 today. He scored in the 6th, had the first RBI of the game in the 2nd inning. It's been a great final game for the Comet senior. And he's looking to extend their offense just a little bit longer.
First pitch to Donor, chopped to the first baseman. Banana peel route by the pitcher Holdar, and he's able to get Donor on the first pitch. 3 more outs to go here at Canal Park. Twinsburg needs 7 runs to tie it up. And the Comets look to get their first state title in program history. A half inning to go. Can the Comets pull it off? You'll have to stay tuned for the final inning here on Mason Sports Radio. Bryce Brannon searching for 3 more outs to help propel the Comets to their first state title in program history. But first they'll have to go through the freshman Kyler Hoon. His first pitch outside for ball 1.
Hoon struck out in the 3rd, popped out to right field. Needs to get it in play, and he was the hero in the 6th inning for Twinsburg Friday, now in the 7th. Looking to make a comeback. And Adam, we saw a big comeback in just a few hours ago with the Baden West Branch game. Baden entered the 7th inning up 2-0, and West Branch scored 3 in the top of the 7th and eventually clinched their first state title. Twinsburg looking to do the same, although a lot more runs to go. And Kyler Hoon picks up a quick walk.
Yeah, 4 pitches, 4 balls as Brandon walks another batter. And Brandon, he struggled with his control a little bit this year, but when he's dialed in, he is a tough pitcher to face, and he's committed to the Duke Blue to a Duke for a reason. Future Blue Devil can be a lethal pitcher, but 5 straight balls now as his first pitch to die is outside.
Up in bottom of the lineup here, you need to get some outs before you bring up the dangerous top and middle lineup for Twinsburg. And 6 straight balls now for Brannon, not where you want to be.
2-0 for the center fielder, Die. Horn, big lead up first. As Brannon shoots it down the middle for strike 1.
Brannon drops it an 89-mile-an-hour fastball down the pipe. Gets himself on the board of the strike.
2-1 for Die. Foul back. Evens it up at 2-2.
And a lot of velocity there. Die does a good job chasing it and getting a foul, but was way behind on that pitch.
Brandon just misses the zone.
And now full count for Die, who's popped up both of his previous appearances.
full count. Pitch just low from Brandon. He walks another. 2 on, no outs.
And now brings up the top of the lineup. Bobby Lemieux now at the plate, the junior left fielder. Led things off with a ground out in the 6th inning. That's when Michael Belo was still on the mound. And then the next 2 batters, Phillips, Stelnaker, were walked by Belo. That's what brought in Bryce Brandon. So Brandon facing off these guys for the first time. And we're actually going to see a pinch hitter, as it's the senior Carson Appel.
Carson Appel hitting .444 this year when he's played.
4 for 11 this year. Or excuse me, 4 for 9. Had to do some quick mental math.
Brandon's first pitch just high. Clocking in around 90.
Another one goes high from Brandon.
And Coach Bly makes his way out of the dugout. Yes, likely to see a pitching change.
Yep. And Appel is excited at the plate. This is a guy you want to see if you're a Tiger fan. You know, he's been their best pinch hitter all season long. He scored 5 runs in just 12 appearances.
As Brandon will head to the dugout. As we've got a new pitcher coming in from right field. We'll see who it is.
And the final time, Bryce Brandon heading back to the dugout, closing out a fantastic Comet career.
Rutherford having a quick meeting at the mound, and it is going to be the sophomore, Ben Hanley. Pressure is on for the underclassman, but he has been one of the Comets' go-to relievers all season long, and he has made his own path to become one of the next Comet greats on the mound.
Coach Bly has placed a lot of trust in Hanley all season long. He's been the first guy out of the pen in several key games, including the Moeller-Prasco game, and he was able to hold on, allowed just 1 run in a couple innings pitched there. The Comets would go on to lose in extra innings, but Hanley pitched a good game, and here he's getting some fantastic experience in the state final. The stage doesn't get any bigger than this, but he's got a 7-run cushion to work on. So sophomore, I mean, if he's able to pull off this and complete the game and win the state title for the Comets, that's something he's going to be talking about for the next 2 years with his younger teammates. Would be huge. But guys on first and second, this is not an easy situation to come into, no matter what the score says.
Yeah, and a dangerous pinch hitter recently checked in. He's going to start off up in the count 2-0. So a difficult spot for Hanley to lead in. But he is the guy you want to do it. 2-0 for Carson Appel. 2 runners on, no outs. Comets 3 outs away from their first state title in program history. First pitch down the middle and a swing and a miss.
That's got to get the confidence going for Ben Hanley. He rips that fastball inside. 87 miles an hour. Appel couldn't touch it. And Appel will call time.
And he lasers in his next pitch on the low inside corner. Hanley evens it out 2-2. This would be a huge confident boost if he could go 3 straight strikes and retire Appel. Time called. Pitch would have been a strike, but Appel steps out of the box.
Back-to-back strikes now. Would have been 3 straight. Thrown from Hanley. He's got some momentum.
Two the pitch. And he catches a ball swinging. The fastball high gets him. Could not touch the sophomore's fastball.
Yeah, and Ben Hanley, I know he's got a brother on this team that's also a pitcher, but reminds me a lot of Michael Belo on the mound. Very similar velocities. They both throw 4 pitches, fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. And Hanley throws some filthy stuff there to punch out his first batter.
And his command on the mound for just a sophomore is really fun to watch. Bright future ahead for this young star. His first pitch misses just inside to Phillips, and Phillips, he's been kind of a gnat that the Comets can't get rid of on the base path.
Yeah, he's walked the past 2 times. He was at the plate, and he made it home. He scored the lone run of the game for the Twinsburg Tigers so far. And now up 2-0, he's got a great eye. And that's been a theme this year, too. Phillips has scored 41 times this season, towards the top of the team.
Phillips drives it into right field. Donor falls underneath it. Tag up at second. And Hoon makes his way over to third. Dye will stay put at first. Runners on the corners. 2 outs. The Comets 1 away from clinching their first state title in program history. Can Ben Hanley get it done on the mound? What a game it's been. And this could be the final batter. The power hitter, Josh Stallnaker, up to the plate. First pitch from Hanley. Swing and a miss.
Impressive command from the sophomore. 87-mile-an-hour fastball right there. Exactly where it needed to be. And Stallnaker, the most dangerous hitter in this lineup, already down in the count.
Everyone on the Mason stands is on their feet. Second pitch from Hanley. Fouled back. Runner on the move is Dye. He'll have to go back. 0-2.
Dye had over 20 stolen bases this year. Was looking to pick up another one, but Hanley not worried about it.
2 strikes. And the Comets are 1 away. Ben Hanley on the mound. Comes set. The pitch. Just outside. Dye makes it over to second. Rutherford doesn't worry about him, as Stallnaker staying poised.
2 guys in scoring position, but all Hanley and Rutherford are focused on right now is getting the last strike.
Ben Hanley, the pitch to make history, delivers. That one hit to Kelling, the diving catch! And Alex Kelling pulls it in! The Mason Comets are your 2024 state champions!
Yeah, and 17 seniors on this team, but how fitting it is that it's a sophomore, Ben Hanley, getting the dog pile. And the Comets couldn't be happier as they pull off their incredible season. Knocked out the reigning state champs, and the title is staying in Southwest Ohio. The Mason Comets pick up the victory.
What a scene here in Akron. A roar from the Mason fans. And what a moment for this special group of seniors as they pull off the improbable. What a journey it's been to this moment.
And Adam, this is our class, the class of 2024, and we've known these guys for a while, and this is something they've been talking about for years, but especially since they made it here as sophomores, didn't get the job done, lost in the state semis, and for the last 2 years, all they've been focused on is getting back to this point and pulling away with the win, and that's exactly what happened, and it's so impressive to actually come through and win that state championship.
Yeah, what a special way for the senior class to end their careers. Tears in the Mason stands, but also special way to end our broadcasting careers. I mean, we couldn't have pictured it any other way. An 8-1 Comet State Championship. What a ride it's been, and this was a special call and one that we'll remember for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, for about 5 games now, Adam and you and I have been calling it, not knowing if it's going to be our last call in our Mason Sports Radio career. Came in today knowing for sure it was going to be the last one, and it feels great to end on a win. And this Mason baseball team is one of the best teams we've covered in our 4 years. And, you know, they're able to bring home the state championship. That's the pinnacle of success in high school sports.
Yeah, such a fun group of guys to watch all season long. But this program has been so special to us. We're so thankful for Mason Sports Radio and all the opportunities we've been able to have. We're so blessed at Mason to have just so many opportunities for students. And Mason Sports Radio has been our favorite by far. So many amazing memories to look back on. And I don't know about you, Andrew, but I could not imagine my high school experience without it. Big thank you to Mr. Dale Connor, our advisor, our crew along the way, Alyssa Feinblatt, taking the reins next year. She was directing tonight. Such a bright future ahead, but, man, what a special program here in the booth. But a special program taking home their first state championship in program history, the Mason Comets, led by Coach Bly.
Yeah, Coach Bly, 10 years with the program, and we had him in English class this year, and it's definitely been something he's hoping to bring home. He had high hopes for this group, and they were able to do it. After 10 years, Coach Bly and the Mason Comets bring home that state title.
Well, what a scene here in Akron, Ohio. The Comets end the year in perfect fashion, bringing home a state championship to the 45040. They couldn't have envisioned it any other way. A dominant performance led by the entire senior class. The Comets victorious here in Akron, Ohio, 8-1, the final score from Canal Park. My name is Adam Little, joined alongside my brother Andrew Little, signing off for the final time. The Mason Comets are